Blake Lewis came out to Hollywood tonight to take part in LifeWorks Pop Goes the World charity event. And are you an open artist with open arms?
I'm a straight artist with open arms.
That's perfect. Now, what have you been doing with your music lately?
My new record, Heartbreak on vinyl, just came out October 6th on Tommy Boy Records. Been doing some promoting with that, playing shows, gigging around, the nation, having fun. Yeah.
And you got to give me a little bit about the beatbox. You have to tell me how you do it.
I was one of those kids, and still am one of those kids that constantly make noise. And I was doing it subconsciously till pretty much the end of high school, and then I found that I could beatbox, and it just kind of came naturally. I'm an only child, and I'm a sponge. I soak up every noise and everything, so it just happened.
I'm an only child too, and I can't even twirl my tongue. I sit there and try, and I can't. So you say you make a lot of noise. Were you a troublemaker in school or with your parents?
I was definitely a little hellion when I was in junior high. I matured in high school. I don't know about that. But yeah. So I was girls say they don't make that much noise, but you make more noise than we do. You're like, psh, psh,
I was just going to say, in what way do you mean we make more noise?
Well, in the bedroom's one thing, That's what your dirty mind's thinking of.
Okay, I'm not going there. I didn't ask it. No.
We're thinking it.
Shh, don't get me in trouble. No. Now, what's different about the second album than from the first?
A lot. I produced on this record. I wrote every song but one. It's very dance, electro. It's got a great mixture into club culture. That's what I grew up in. I went from underground hip hop into underground dance, and I fell in love with dance culture. When about time I started beatboxing around '96, and I became the MC at all these raves and all these huge clubs and functions, and the beatboxing fit, and then the singing over the beats, and kind of came together, and so it's basically my roots record,
You said you pretty much produced and wrote most of the songs, all but one. Do you think the music industry has gotten easier on letting people do what they want now? I know there was a period of time when it was very cookie cutter.
I don't think the industry has. I think that just in the natural progression of technology has allowed that. But definitely not the industry. The industry likes to make things harder,
And what else is next for you, if there's anything that you can pack into your daily life right now?
I just came out with my mix CD. I've been DJing a lot. I've been doing that for a long time. So I just came out with a new mix. Just playing shows a lot. I'm playing Vegas next week. I'm back here next week for a fashion show that I'm judging at, and it's good to come back to LA and have fun, and do these kind of events. I live in Seattle, and it's really chill, so
You're judging a fashion event. Tell me about that.
It's called Style Wars. It's based out of New York, and it's at Cinespace next Tuesday on the 17th. And it's a bunch of designers going at it live, throwing stuff on stage together, trying to make the best look, So, and I'm privy to the battling, with the beatbox battles and whatnot. So it should be a cool event. Designer Ashton Michael. Yes, made the jacket, it's good. I know. Look at that.
Think alike, right?
Strut our stuff on, Hollywood.
Yeah,
let's go.
We'll be at the fashion event. You can judge me.
All right, let's do it. You'd win.
Well, thank you so much for talking to us tonight, and have a wonderful time here.
Thank you.